to clear my throat in 9 minutes, Levitan. How you doing? Great meeting. Let me just tell you, I like to make things very simple. The best leader in our company is Jeff. Just so you know. I mean, you're with the best guys. I'm going to all these breakout meetings. I'm saying something nice to everyone's group. The best overall leader in every way you would measure somebody in the company. If you said to me, we need to start this whole thing over again, and you have the first pick in the draft, I would choose Levitan, and it would not even take me long to evaluate it. That's who you work with. Do you understand that? That's who you work with. And our relationship is a really interesting one. It's evolved over time. It went from the beginning when we met each other, we didn't like each other because we were competing against one another. And then it went to, we always respected each other. Then it went to, I really feared him because he was beating me really bad and he was so good at the business. And then it's just over time, as we both got married and had, had our children and our families, it's just evolved to a real friendship and a man that I admire and respect. I've watched him grow up. I've watched him become the man that he is and the difference he makes in people's lives in and out of the business. And I'll tell you this all the time, but I love you, brother, and I'm so proud of who you've become. It's just neat that we're both our lives are kind of going this way together. So you're awesome, man. I really mean that. That's not WFG talk. I really mean that. I think he's just wonderful. He just really, it makes me feel good. If you have a rival or someone that you've always wanted to chase, it just makes me feel good that I really mean that about him. And when I say it, it feels good to share that with you because I really do. I'm very impressed and proud of him. So, in any event, I don't have too much time. I just want to share a few things with you. How many of you, you've enjoyed this so far, right? Me too. It's been a wonderful meeting. When you come to these meetings, it's noisy though, isn't it? And busy. Golly. Everything's jumping up and down. And I got to go to this meeting, and I got to wear my blue shirt or my orange shirt or whatever. And then you go to another meeting, and then breakfast real early, and someone sweet's got a meeting. You got to go to this thing, and a breakout meeting. It's noisy and busy, isn't it? You know what? You don't usually make your best decisions in noise. You usually make your best decisions in quiet. Mine are usually made nowadays, thank God, that I pray when I make my decisions, right? But that's usually in quiet. Usually praying is, real good prayer is usually when it's super loud. You're playing a bunch of, AC/DC in the background when you're saying a prayer or you're thinking to yourself. I just want you to know, I make a lot of mistakes in the business. One of the things I've not done over time, and I know this is true of Jeff, just very definite in purpose, very directed, very prepared, very methodical guy. More than I am, actually. But one thing I do share in common with him that I've done really well over the years is that if I'm going to spend a bunch of money, especially in the beginning when I didn't have it, and have all this busyness happen, and go to all these meetings and sleep deprivation and buffet food and all this crap we do, I'm not going to leave here the same man I came in. So afford yourself, if you haven't yet, at least a 20-minute spot with you by yourself, you and your Lord, if that's how you do it, you and your sweetie, and get somewhere and be quiet and make some decisions. Make 2 or 3 decisions, not 60, 2 or 3 decisions about what you need to do to alter the direction of your life and your business. Will you do that? Say yes. Yes. I mean, I don't care if you got to go to I'm serious, go to the parking garage and sit by the dumpster for 15 minutes. It doesn't matter, but get in a quiet place and just decide. Just shift, just alter it. I've made a few myself. How many of you come here with you think, some kind of limiting detriment to you? Whether it's like your market or your spouse isn't supportive or you're too introverted or you don't know how to close, you don't have a license. How many of you are aware of something that's not so hot about you that's going to hurt you here? Me too. Surprisingly, you know what mine is? Everyone snickers. Mine is how shy I am. It's true though. If you met me one-on-one, most people are surprised when they meet me one-on-one that I'm sort of a little bit more meek and a little bit more quiet and a little bit more introverted than they were. In fact, I'll tell you that I think I'm probably the most shy person in this room, and it rears its head in weird places. This meeting, for example, I can't really go out and eat at a restaurant here because I can't sit and have a meal because people want to talk to you, so I get to eat once a day. I always gotta get room service. Christine will tell you this. I've had room service about 6 times. All 6 times I've hidden in the bedroom when she meets the room service person. Just because of that interaction, I'm too shy for it. Does that surprise you? I get in front of 25,000 people and talk. A room service guy comes in my room, I make her. With the gala night, we got back, she's in a little nightie sleeping, I had another couple meetings. I come back still in my tux, I said, honey, you need to get dressed, room service is coming. And she got dressed and met the room service guy where I hid behind the door in the bedroom. I'm that shy. I didn't go to any of my high school reunions. Which would be nice, they kind of heard what happened to me. I'd like to kind of go and go, what up, right? I'm too shy. Didn't go to any of my reunions. I see you at the mall, if I know you, even if we're real good friends, I'll actually duck into a store just to avoid the conversation. So I'm super shy. That's a good quality though, isn't it, huh? Totally afraid of people and shy and introverted, and I'm in this business. So I had to overcome that. If I can overcome that, you can overcome just about anything you've got that's ailing you, right or wrong. How do we do it is the question. So that's what I want to talk to you about. I'm going to talk quickly because I don't want to be rude about taking up too much time. Do you want a transformation or a revolution in your life? Which one? Think about what I just asked you. You want to transform or do you want to revolutionize? Which one do you want? Right answer, revolutionize. By the way, you whispered it because you weren't sure what the right answer was. Transformations take a while. Revolutions happen quickly. If you want to revolutionize your business, let's just get to it. How many of you know who Casey Kasem is? Casey Kasem, I can't believe people know who this guy is. He was this American top, he's died, and his family's fighting over all his money. That's how most people know him now. But Casey Kasem used to host American Top 40 when I was a kid, and at the end of every broadcast, I don't know if y'all remember this, but at the end of the broadcast, he had this real whispery kind of, and he used to say at the end of the broadcast, keep your feet on the ground, keep reaching for the stars. That's how he used to say it, just like that, right? But I like that saying, keep your feet on the ground, keep reaching for the stars. What's this meeting been all about? Let's be real. Stars, reach, dream, woo, butterflies, popcorn, bubblegum, it's all gonna be great, right? But the truth is you have to keep your feet on the ground and actually do the work. You have to actually do the work. That's what I want you to do. Paul rolled out a whole bunch of stuff like this 40-60 deal we rolled out. Unbelievable. About $30 million more just from Western Trans-America to you guys sooner. But it's like $60 million more money up front than from everybody. You know what's killer about that? We worked on this, worked on it. And Joe goes, you know, should we go to the other providers and give them a chance to do it too? And I said, well, you know how quickly they all decided to agree to do that with you? Like in one call. Like, so we asked Nationwide, like, how long will it take you guys to get up to speed? Give us 2 days. I'm not kidding you. We're so powerful and we're doing so much business, we are the tail wagger now. And so now you're getting all this money up front. That means more promotions faster, more cash flow faster, get your ring faster, full time faster, bring home your first big check faster and bigger. It's awesome. But the other thing Paul rolled out, did you catch that Paul rolled out that we've just unveiled a 90-day campaign? Did you all see that? Yes? Let me explain something to you. You want to transform your life, just take your time. You want to revolutionize it, here's my challenge to you today. You got to go crazy for 90 days. I've had 3 90-day cycles in my life ever where I went nuts, ballistic, insane, never worked like that since. Sonny Wayne talked to the SMDs the other night. She was at 100 grand, dropped down to 30 grand. Most people would quit when that happens. She stays because she's like that Chinese bamboo tree I talked about. She was going to wait for the big explosion over 6 weeks. But what she said she did is she went on a 90-day mad woman cycle. Where she called, and what that means is you basically, listen to me, this is the work part, it's the part where everybody kind of goes, and forget it. You do more in 90 days than you've done in a year. You call more people in 90 days, have more meetings, see more people, do more appointments, do more stuff in 90 days than you did in the previous year, and that's how you can revolutionize your business. I don't care what level you're at and what cash flow. If you want to make a quantum quick leap, revolutionize something, you do a whole bunch in a short window of time. And let me tell you what's interesting about it. It's not even what happens in the 90 days. What's crazy is, it could be the 88th day, somebody you invite to the meeting who then no-shows, who comes back 6 weeks later after the 90 days, signs up, flakes out, left you a referral you called, who comes in, does nothing, waves at somebody in a parking lot, and ends up coming on board, becomes your SMD. 7 months later. After all these 90-day cycles, and all 3 of them, it wasn't even what happened in the 90 days. It was like, oh wow, 6 months later, wow, what a quinky dink. I've got 3 more SMDs. My cash flow's up $80,000. It's because of what I did the previous 90 days, and it just condensed time frames and went nuts. You with me on that? Here's the other thing it does. This is big. The other thing it does is it can help, see, identity. I always talk about identity. I say, your life can't exceed your identity. And that's in my CDs here. You're never going to live a better life, have more money than what you believe you're worth or what you believe you deserve. So that's why you'll see people even in our business, they'll climb up, fall back down, climb up, fall back down. They think it's just by coincidence. It's not. It's you turning on the air conditioner and cooling your life back down to the thermostat level where you're comfortable. And until you can get yourself to believe that you deserve to live at 90 degrees, every time it gets to 90, you turn the AC on to get it back down to 70. Every time you get up to $200,000, you cool it back down to 100. Every time you get up to 100, you cool it back down to 50. So you have to transform your identity. Would you agree? Okay, I love Jeff's new book. It's awesome. And one of the things I'm thinking about writing about right now is old personal development only teaches you how to transform your identity. And you all know how to do that, right? What do they tell you? How do you change your identity? Give me a couple things. What do you do? What do you do? Read, right? Read books, listen to tapes, go to seminars, power of your associations, right? All this is totally true, and I'm a product of it. This is how you transform. It's like drip, 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 and over a period of time, you are changed and you are a different person, and your identity changes, your life changes. You all with me on that? But what if you could revolutionize your identity? What if you do it in 90 days? Well, you can. You can shock your system. If you do a whole bunch of stuff in 90 days you've never done before, what happens day after day after day is you're keeping all these promises you make to yourself, and you're doing things you've never done before, and over 3 months, what happens at the end of those 3 months, your brain, your unconscious realizes, oh my gosh, we've never done anything like this before. And oh my God, I'm not the same person I was before. And you make a shift, Garcia. Stay with me, buddy. Okay? Write this down. Take some notes. You're a leader, right? So you do things over those 9 days you've never done before. All of a sudden, at the end of the 90 days, you're completely different. Here's why. Because for those 90 days, you've done things you know almost everybody else isn't willing to do, and now you believe you deserve to have things other people aren't going to have. So you can revolutionize your identity in 90 days by shocking your system. You literally, the power of a 90-day cycle is about 40% the different businesses, recruits and points and all that stuff you'll get. 60%, you are a totally different man or woman at the end of the 90 because you've done something. You ever seen someone come out of like a 6-month workout program? Don't they just walk and talk different? It's not that they look different, their whole identity changed. Because they did things they've never done before. When you begin to behave in a way you've never behaved before, your mind begins to look at you in a way it's never looked at you before. That's the power of the 90 days. Are you with me on that? So we rolled out a very basic 90 days. And basically it says this. If you just help 6 families, 6 personal recruits, or 2,500 points for a client, a combination of both, you just help 6 different people, you've earned your way into training with us. One of the things that's always hurt my feelings is, yesterday I spoke and always see these security guards backstage and think, what are these guys sitting, no offense guys, what are they sitting here for, right? I learned yesterday, because I told that story about meeting Art, there's about 600 people that decided during the convention still they were going to come backstage and introduce themselves to me. And so the security guys sort of held them back. But what breaks my heart is when I meet people in the business, they say, hey, I'm new, or I've been here a while, and I just know if you mentor me one-on-one, if I could just get with you, if I get your email or your phone number, then everything would change. And it breaks my heart to look at another man and say, I can't do that. I'm sorry. Because what breaks my heart about it is I'm no better than you are. I don't want to make it seem like somehow you're not worthy of me, but what it is it's not fair to other people who have earned that time to give it to somebody who hasn't earned it. So I was talking to Swan a while ago, and he has the same issue, so does Jeff. So we decided to launch a tour where you can earn your way into getting mentored by us. I'd like to be in a meeting where you're getting mentored by Levitan, myself, and Swan in a full day of like real detail. And we bring in John Chin in the local meeting and let him unleash. See, this tour that we're going to do, this mentoring is not puffery. It's not like, hey, builder's mindset, dream big, focus, none of that stuff. We're talking about specificity, details, precision is what I intend to give you there, and I know Swan does as well. It'll be 4 years ago we did a tour, maybe coincidental, but after me and Swan and Joe did that tour, the company went nuts. It hasn't changed since, and it probably is coincidental, but the field started to act differently. So we're launching another one this fall, but this one is this. We want to have this massive surge in recruiting because of the campaign, and then equip everybody, including you afterwards. We're going to do one for SMDs and above, and one for everybody else. Detailed training. You guys, I can tell you this quickly, because everyone's asked me this after I opened my mouth yesterday. I have had a couple health issues recently. I had a couple heart attacks this fall. And they're okay, I'm okay. But let me tell you what happened when I had these. When you're 43 years old, I already had heart issues, but now they kind of caught me. So I've known since I was 30 I've had some issues, but they caught me this fall. That one happened in Hawaii. And I didn't want the company to know and be all worried about it, blah, blah, blah. So when you have that happen, you realize probably if you have a heart attack at 43, maybe 93 is not in the cards. Maybe 83 is not in the cards. Maybe 73 isn't. I hope 53 is. All right? But because of that, my time's important. Being away from my kids now takes on a completely different meaning than it used to. I promise you, I'm not wasting my time on this tour. And I'm not leaving for 6 different weeks away from my family to blow smoke at you. I will not waste your time that day that you earn your right into that training. I will not waste it because I'm not wasting mine. I'm going to prepare for that meeting, those meetings, in a way I've never in my career prepared. And I'm going to attempt to record this stuff in the best training I've ever given. And I'm going to put in front of you that day, Swan Wen, myself, and I'm going to put in front of you only the best trainers, like a Shin, like a Levitan, like a Frater or Delon, like a Marcy, like these people in front of you those days, to equip you. So you earn your way into that. You give me that, say yes. Yes. Okay. That's a big deal to me. That tour's a huge deal. You take full advantage of that. Okay? Last couple things real quick. I just want to say this to you. I'm writing about this right now. There's a subtle difference between very successful, wealthy people, Levitan, you're going to like this, and poor and middle class people, or people that don't win in business. Let me tell you what I think that subtle difference is. I really don't. How many of you grew up with a parent who ever said to you, we can't afford it? I did. Dad, I'd like this bike. No, we can't afford that bike. You can get this little huffy one over here, right? Dad, can we go on this vacation? We can't afford it. Dad, I want the real Coke. No, we can't afford it. Dad, can we get the popcorn and the sodas inside the movie theater? No, we can't afford it. We're bringing our own in. My dad was the king of coughing when you open your Coke can, your Shasta can at the movies, right? We couldn't afford crap all the time. My dad's a wonderful man, but he's a middle-class thinker. He's always negotiating price. Everything's based on, can we afford it? And so is it with you too often. When you're looking at this business, you're still negotiating the price. Well, what's it going to cost me? What's it going to cost me? Well, am I going to miss this Little League game? Am I going to miss family? What's my wife going to think? What are my friends going to think? What if I go broke? What if I don't make enough money? What if I come full-time? What if I quit my job? What if I don't recruit people? What if I do recruit them? I don't even know what to do with them. Cost, price, huh? And if you still make decisions based on cost and price, you will always be average. The subtle difference is successful and wealthy people decide whether it's worth it. That's about a Rolls-Royce Ghost. Long story short, dumb idea. $330,000 for this car, right? Do you think I bought it because of the price? I bought it because I thought it was worth it. When I decide I'm going to go back to work and improve myself again, I've already negotiated the price. Let me just give you news. How hard do you think it's going to be to build this business? Pretty hard? Okay, it's going to be way harder than you think. This is going to be more difficult than you think. However difficult the prices you think in your mind you're negotiating you're going to pay, just multiply it times 3 or 4. You're going to pay prices in this business you never even imagine right now. So I'm just telling you up front, if you ever want to do anything great in your life, take the price and just magnify it by a bunch and decide whether it's worth it, but quit trying to negotiate the price. You're going to pay prices that are unimaginable to be successful here. Do you hear me? But you got to decide it's not what the price is, because the price is going to be more than you can imagine. FYI, I just told you, no more bubble gum. You got to decide whether it's worth it. I decide to do things based on whether they're worth it, based on the value of doing it, not the price. Flying to Chicago to do a big training for you, that's a price I got to pay. The way you get me to do it is I believe it's worth it and there's value in doing it. Every decision, do you understand that distinction? Because let me just share one other thing with you. The price for not doing this is about 1,000 times. It's infinitely greater for not doing this than it is to do it. There is going to be a price paid, either the one you pay when you do this, which will be extraordinary, or the one you will pay if you do not make this happen. The one you will pay if you do not make this happen is a life-altering bad decision. You don't make this happen, it's just another thing you quit. Just another thing you went in on and couldn't complete. Another thing you didn't finish. Another story you tell people about how someone screwed you over. Or you didn't get the support you needed. Or your upline wasn't a good guy. Or the training wasn't good enough. Another thing your wife doesn't even believe anyway. Another failure, another loss. It's kind of just like another shovel in the sand of your grave. Never mind the places you won't go, the things you won't do for your family, the man or woman you won't become, the experiences you won't have, the money you won't make, the places and destinations of the world you will never see. That's the price you pay if you don't do it. It's infinitely greater. So you might as well decide right now, the price is probably greater than I can even imagine, but it is worth it. I will pay whatever the price is that required, because there's value and worth in paying the price. Do you hear me on that? Say yes. Do not leave here thinking that price isn't big. It's gigantic. But that price you'll pay if you don't do it is tremendously bad. Tremendously bad. So negotiate worth and value. Keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars too. Last thing I'll tell you. If I were you, this is what I would do when I leave here. Before I go back to Chicago or I go back to Southern California, I would make a list in this meeting today of the top 5 people I got to call. Top 5. Here's who's on that list. Not 25, just make 5 for right now. Top 5 people I got to call. You ready? Here's who's on that list. Someone on your team who's not here. Someone that you've tried to prospect before that said no. Or someone you've never called ever. And you call them from here. You call them before you leave. You call them from the airport. You call them before you get on the airplane. You call them from your car on the way home. But you do not wait to get home to do it. Why do you do that? Biggest reason you do it is because you're already starting a 90-day Mad Woman cycle. 90-day Madman cycle starts right now, not a day from now. It just started when we just talked about it. So you're going to do it because you're on that Mad Woman cycle. The other reason you're going to do it is because I just said it to 1,000 people, and 850 of them aren't going to do it. 850 people never do anything we tell them to do. So you're going to do it because you want to be in the 150. You already want to start to trick your mind, convince your mind that you're willing to do things other people aren't willing to do. So it's not even the fact that I don't even care if they say yes or no. I just care you do something that you committed to do, and you do something most people won't do, because now I know we're already revolutionizing who you are by the mere fact that you call those 5 people when you know most of these peers in here won't do it. How many of you are willing to commit that you call those 5 people? Okay. Just so you know, 850 liars, that's okay. 150 people are going to do it because you're not going to find the time to do it. But if you do it, you are already off to the races of becoming a new person because you're doing stuff you've never done before and you're doing stuff most people aren't willing to do. Never mind the fact one of them might say yes. Second reason you do it is it's a better phone call. This is the last thing I want to tell you. You call them when you get back home, hey, how you doing? Lollygag, lollygag, lollygag. When's better for you, Monday or Wednesday? All that crap, right? You call somebody and say, hey, I'm in Las Vegas. I just got out of this amazing conference. If they're on your team, you're not going to believe what you missed. I land at noon Sunday. I'm going to be at your place at 2. Can't wait to see you. You're not going to flipping believe it. Boom. Doesn't even matter if you reach them live. Leave them the voicemail. They told you you're coming. Show up at 2. Someone not in your business, you never call, hey, I'm in Las Vegas, I can't stop thinking about you. They just unrolled this thing, our company's a whole new company. I have to talk to you about it. You're not going to believe what I heard here. Amazing. I land at noon, I'll see you at 2. Start telling people when you want to meet with them. This whole alternate choice is weak. People make decisions to meet with you, guess what? Based on worth. Worth. The more certain person always influences the less certain person. My wife's proven this now for 35 years. I've lost every fight we've ever had, although she's been wrong 77% of the time. Okay? I feel good to say she's not here. Okay? Well, she wins every conversation because she's always more sure she's right than I am than I'm right. Every time. Every single time. The convention the other night, I walked up, some people were laughing because I was going to sit right here. There was 2 seats open. She was going to get up, sit there. You sit there. I'm like, okay, let me get up. I guess I'm sitting there. No questions asked. She runs the show, right? I wasn't real sure where I should sit. She was sure. When you call somebody and you say, I got to meet with you at 2 Sunday, boom. You know what? That's certain. You call from Vegas, like, you're thinking of me and you're in Vegas. What the heck? Well, okay, yeah, it's bigger. You got it? It's a magnifier to the phone call if you call them from here. Always bigger. By the way, when you tell someone to meet with you, let me ask you a question. If they had a heart attack like I did, and you found the cure for no more heart attacks, and you called me, would I be like, hey, Sunday at 2 is not working for me? I'd move whatever the hell else I got because it's worth it. Right? If they were poor and you had $1 million to hand them, you think they'd meet you at 2 o'clock Sunday to hand over the $1 million? How would you call if you had the $1 million? How would you call if you had the cure to the heart attack? That's how you make the call. You got it? It's not that you have to have all this confidence in you. You have to have confidence in what you're going to deliver to them through this. And that's what happens when you make the call from here. So give me that. You're going to make your top 5 phone calls from here. Yes? You're going to go on a 90-day cycle. Yes? You're going to negotiate worth instead of what the price is all the time. Yes? And then you're just going to make all your dreams come true. Fair enough. I got to go. I'm over time. God bless you. Thank you very much.